Yes, we are live. Welcome back to another live lifts. Let's get into it. Beautiful. Yes. Welcome back. Another live lifts. Sunday strength. Amazing. No better place to be. As usual, thoroughly warmed up. $140 on the bar. What are we doing today? Squats, heavy squats. Might hit the biceps, do some chins. And then do some yoke carry outside. Nice day to get strong. Steady progress, so we've gone from, now at 140 on the bar, we've gone from 130 within the first 4 weeks. So this is week 4. Now in week 4, the end of our first month, so we've gone up by 10 kilos in most of our lifts. And we're combining that now with functional movement as well, so we've been doing lots of sleds, lots of carrying, lots of functional movements that are complementary. So you don't always have to do the same thing, you know? Another set. Just 3 minutes. Thumbs up on the video, guys. Ooh. Yes. So, how do I feel after the last session? We did, in the last video, last live stream, we did very heavy deadlift, 142, Friday night. Friday night light, but it's anything but light, it's very heavy. What do we do? Then we did some narrow grip bench press. Then I went off and did some calf work. We mentioned the importance of training your calves a few videos ago, especially if you're going into an activity that needs a lot of overload. and there's a lot of repetitive movement, running for long distances. If you're going in the military, perhaps, or if you are doing an endurance sport, you don't want to get an overuse injury. Tendinitis is a big one, common in the shoulders, the knees, the ankles, but also in the elbows as well. So if you're doing a lot of leg work, a lot of long distance running, work those calves, get that Achilles nice and strong. So I did that last time, so I feel fully recovered from that, to be honest. Fully recovered, because remember, you've got to train hard enough to progress, but you need to make sure you've got your recovery in so you're fresh for the next session 48 hours later, so you can perform. I felt that this week I need to increase my carbohydrate increase a little bit. Just felt like during the narrow grip bench press in the last session, just got a little bit tired, a little bit fatigued. Maybe it was a little bit heavy, but I think maybe I need to get a bit more starchy carbohydrates in there. Maybe some more potatoes and stuff. Diet's a huge part of being refreshed and recovering, having energy for the session. So I shall tweak my diet a little bit, get a bit more going in. The first 4 weeks, I feel like I've got stronger, but I feel like I've lost weight. And that will happen. When you start strength training, you may actually lose a bit of weight first, but your metabolism and your upregulation, and obviously the more lean tissue, building of power and muscle, your appetite will increase. And I just say go with it. Go with that appetite change. If you need to feed your body. I don't particularly count calories, and I listen to my body. So third set out of 5. So do 5 sets of heavy squat. Then we will, I'm thinking chin-ups is a good idea. Well, we've got yoke carry. I want to do the yoke carry today as well. Some really dynamic functional exercise to really get us going. I think we'll do that outside. I think it'd be nice to go outside. It's a nice day. Next set coming up. Thumbs up on the video, guys. With the music banging. Woo. Third set. Nice and tight. Beauty. Yes, feeling powerful. Beautiful. Two more sets. So, I've been reading a lot of interesting articles, research recently about some of the topics people have requested. So, the podcast is coming. Like I say, high quality. Want to make sure it's really good, really interesting. It's got to be fun as well, you know. Sometimes the information around health and fitness can be a little bit dry. So You've got to find some really interesting things to look at, and there are some nice things out there. So I found some really nice articles to review, to discuss, that are very relevant. So podcast is coming, and yeah, it'd be nice. Long-term vision. Just stick with the live streams for now. We can build on the other ideas later on. Feeling strong. So remember, I haven't been sore after any of my sessions at all. So you don't always have to be sore. I think some of the more delicate muscles like lower back, calves, you can feel like a little bit of recovery in them, but for the most part, I've not felt any DOMs, any burn, nothing like that. And I feel a lot fuller. I feel a lot bigger and a lot fuller than even 3 or 4 weeks ago. You'll notice the changes really, really quick, even after a couple of weeks if you're strength training properly. So don't be afraid to get started anytime. I think we're due for another set. Whew, nearly there. Like the video, guys, for the audio, always helpful, always fantastic. Yeah. Whether you're watching this now live or watching it on catch up, hit that like video. Hit that like button. Like the video. Let's go. Ooh. One, two, ooh. Smooth as you like, mate. Yes, mate. Ooh. Power. Wow. So, one more set. I think what we'll do is straight after the squat, we'll go straight into the yoke carry. Excuse me. Forgive me. We'll go straight into the yoke carry. We could do it outside or inside. I don't know if I can get this back door open though. There's too many bins. We'll do some yoke carry. I think we'll go up and down the Astro. It's all the same. One more set. Growth, every session growth. Never hit plateaus. about a minute. So if you want to improve your deadlift and have more power at the very bottom of the lift, essentially where you start the deadlift, you're going to have to develop more leg strength. And unfortunately, it's neglected because it can be a bit scary, I think, and it can be very uncomfortable. So I spoke to a gentleman earlier, just off screen, before I started, and he was doing an impressive deadlift, 160, fantastic. But unfortunately, he was, he's going to injure himself. He wasn't getting any power in his legs. He was getting no power in that base when he's in that fully squatted down position to leverage the bar up. And he was hinging on his lower back, unfortunately. It's a great shame. It's how a lot of the young guys injure themselves. And your back is never the same after that. So a solution is essentially to lower the weight, learn the correct technique for the deadlift. It's quite simple, really. And also, start doing your squats. Because if you're always going deep with your squats, you will build the glutes and the hamstring and that power in the base that you need to drive up, as well as the abs and the abdominal core development. So there's no harm in taking a couple of steps back to take many, many steps forward. I'm going to do another set. More weight, heavy weight, light sweat, heavy weight. Most definitely. Yeah, I think we'll do the yoke carry next because we are switched on. Feeling good? Ooh. 2, 3. Brilliant. And the most dangerous part of the squat, really, it can feel very uncomfortable when it's on your back until you get used to it. But the two most dangerous parts, in my opinion, and the most times I've seen people getting hurt, is either when they're just starting to squat or when they're finishing their set and they're tired and they're putting the weight down. So that is when they are in this position, starting, and in the same position as you're stepping in with the bar and you're going to put it down. So you don't ever want to be leaning forwards to find the hooks, scrambling. You want to walk in, nice and upright, nice and tight, and if anything, you want to hit that back bar, because then you know where you are and you can drop down onto the hooks. Or you'll have a spotter or trainer with you to help you and guide you and re-rack. And obviously there's other squat machines with the dipped material and the swing hooks and so on. But when you're leaning forwards trying to find that hook, it's going to be your sacroiliac joint or your lower back. It's going to take the brunt force of that. And that's where you can get a discopathy, disc injury, and you don't want that. And usually that will come at the start because it's either too heavy and you're not switched on and your pelvis is rotated. You're putting most pressure through one leg as you unrack the bar. That's why I like to go in with 2 feet and take small steps back. If you're taking a big step back, you're in that vulnerable position where you're loaded and twisted essentially in the spine. And when you're tired and fatigued and you just finished your set, when you're going to re-rack, the temptation is to rush because you're tired and you want to rush the bar back on. But again, you're doing the same thing, but in reverse. You're putting your leg forward and you're rotating and loading the spine to search for that hook. And you'll hook one side on and then the other. It's not good to rotate under a load. So shuffle forward, shuffle back, and then spread your feet nice and wide, get your stance. And when you're tired, particularly after the set as well, the temptation is to quickly unload the bar because you're so tired. But try not to rush, you know? Right, let's break this down. And we'll get the yoke carry out. This is going to be great fun. I haven't done this for such a long time. But the yoke carry is absolutely tremendous. Yeah, safe to take 2 plates off. Thanks to physics. I wonder if we will need, I don't know if we'll need much more weight than 80 kilos, to be honest, on the yoke carry, because I haven't done it for a while, so we'll see how strong we are. Pop these away. Whew. Right, let's see what we got. We are nice and warm. Let's get the yoke carry up. I think that's pretty much fixed in. See what we got. This one looks good. I think we're all right here. Get this baby in action. So we can do. So it is at a slightly awkward height, to be honest. And we don't want to be Can we get this up and down safely? I think we should be all right there. Sound. Safety, safety. Right then. Let's get this going. Yoke carry coming up. Get some 10s. Build up nice and steady. Warm up the body a bit more as well, because this is going to be a new stress through the spine. Yeah. Good. Right, yoke carry. Let's warm up. It's because we've got a new stress coming through the spine now, so we're still loading up like we were with the squat, but now it's functional. What we want is the idea is to do as much weight as possible, as quickly as possible, when we're in competition mode. But now the benefit that we're going to get today is time under tension. We want that strain. So what I want to do, get that strain going through the spine as much as possible. What you've got here is you'll look from the side, is that's resting right across my shoulders. You do not want it to be up on the neck, and you don't want it too on the lower neck. You want it across the shoulders, right across that thick upper trapezius muscle, top of the shoulder blade. And this ties into our video a few weeks ago, bit of a stretch, when we were working on the thoracic spine strength, doing the Zercher squats and the front squats. It's going to be essential when you come to do an exercise like this, because you're going to need core strength, thoracic spine strength, upper shoulder strength. The beauty of this is functional, so you're walking with it, and your load under tension is absolutely brilliant. So, but go light, build up. You don't have to jump in with thousands of kilos, you know. I'm going to put 40 kilos on for now. To be honest, that feels like it's about 15, 20 kilo. But I don't think we should count the frame, because we can only estimate what it is. So if I start off with some 10s, I think that would be nice. You're really going to feel your abs working, your quads, full body, fantastic. Need one more 10. Functional strength. It will be a bit of cardio as well, which is okay. We'll talk more about that in a moment. Yeah, this feels good. But again, essential for the warm-up.
The full spectrum.
Hopefully won't lose a shoe today. Almost a little shoulder shrug. Shoulder shrug in there as well. Lift that weight off the thoracic spine. Feel the legs, feel the hips. Come on. I can feel the hips working. Feel the pelvis going. Complementary to those squats we've just done. Really nice. And that's achievable. And that's nice. That's a nice speed as well. Woo. So you can see where my bar is there. So I spin that around. So nice and loaded up. Feels really nice. Woo. Yes. So next set, we'll put on more 10s. Put on 10s, a couple of 5s if we need to. So we're going up to 80 kilos, which will be a fair challenge. But remember, optimized weight. We're not trying to blow ourselves out after one set. We want to get through several sets. So we've got more time under tension. Sub-maximal training, guys, sub-maximal training. So we'll see what this does. Very healthy exercise, functional, and it ties in quite nicely to some of the hybrid training that's going on at the minute, which I think is wonderful. I think it's not purely CrossFit, it's not purely weightlifting, it's not purely strength, it's not purely bodybuilding, but I think you've got strong functional movements that for the most part look safe and achievable, and you've got a bit of endurance in there as well. So I really like that. I really like that style, and I certainly think that the style of training here I do during the strength season, right through for 6 or 7 months, Particularly for me as a natural guy who needs time to recover, who has to be honest about his limitations, unequipped. I think by the end of that 6-month program, you've put on a lot of weight, lean mass, you're super strong, but you still maintain an element of cardiovascular and cardiorespiratory fitness as well. So you are able to run and be functional and carry that extra mass that you've gained. You can carry that lean tissue of muscle, which is going to use more oxygen, it's going to need more nutrients, it's going to need more energy, but you're fit enough to carry that as well. And I think it ties in really nicely to do some of the hybrid stuff. When you can then get on a bicycle, you are strong enough to cycle and fit enough to cycle, you're fit enough to go and run, you're fit enough to climb, carry, swim. So I think it's really, really wonderful. I think it's absolutely brilliant. So there's a couple of guys here at the gym that I know do it as well, and I would love to team up with those guys after I've gone through my strength season this year. I think it's brilliant. The only difference is that whilst I'm focused on doing my strength work for this 6 months or so, I apart from the functional cardio with perhaps the yoke carry and the sleds and some of the farmers carry and some of the other stuff, I won't do any dedicated cardio. I won't be on the cycle machine, I won't be on the stepper, I won't be on the treadmills, I won't be on the rower. I think there's nothing against that. From what I can see in the ACSM guidelines, there's no evidence to say that it will be detrimental. You can build some elements of endurance as well as strength, but I find that in practice, so that's the guidelines and the research, in practice, I find that you just aren't quite recovered for your next strength session. So it's fine to do cardio if you want to, but I just don't think you'll recover properly. And I do think then you start to feel fatigued and a bit jaded. And I think you start to notice small bits of fatigue creeping in, a little bits of injury, a little bits of overuse. So I tend to completely abstain from pure cardio. And it works. It certainly works. Anyway, shut up, fat boy. Let's do another one. Ooh, beautiful. Nice, safe lift. Abs are working. Come on. Quads are working. Shrug your shoulders. No pressure on the spine, no pressure on the lower neck. Still warming up. See how far we can get. Can feel my thoracic spine working now. My middle back really working hard. Got to engage the abs. So, so it's about what, 20 meters, 20 times 4, about 80 meters with 80 kilos. So it's a nice gauge, it's achievable. I could probably put on a little bit more actually. And then we'll do our working set. So sometimes when you come to that point, it's just a case of trial and error. And then you know what's achievable and you can just go and do your working set. So steady, incremental build up. Let's see. 10, 20. If I take a couple of 5s off. Is it? Oh, there's plenty of 5s available, so we'll. Right, absolutely promise. I've got to do the biometric testing today as well. So I'm assuming I have put on weight. lean mass. And we'll check the vitals. Fives. Yeah, they're all fives. Woo. Yeah. Awesome. Bit of chalk, stop any slippage. So then we hit the biceps today and do some curls. Yeah, we do some curls, biceps. Feeling super strong. So we've got 100 kilos on here now. Slowly build up. Get that thickness. Your waist won't necessarily get thicker and bigger and wider. It will get more and more powerful. And it will look a lot better when you come to do your cardio and your bodybuilding in the summer. You'll get more of a cut, more of a taper, because you'll have thicker, leaner muscle to cut into because you've been putting your thorax and your abdomen under a lot more load. So that's how you really build that really nice, dense thickness. All right, I think we're ready. Yes. Strong Sundays. That's such a rush. Woo! Wow. Hard, but achievable. See? A bit like life. Should be hard, but achievable. You always need a bit of challenge, a bit of test, a little bit of stress, a little bit, just a little bit, you know. Whew. Train properly, train athletically. Oh, I've been reading some absolutely fantastic stuff on ergogenics, also known as performing enhancing drugs, also known as steroids. Reading about really intellectually looking at the evidence base behind blood sampling, blood doping, hormones, amphetamines, diuretics, water tablets if you like. So all this is going to be on the podcast, guys. I think it's sensible to have these debates and look at the actual literature behind it. And I think we should make a stand to completely promote what exercise should be, which is enjoyable, safe, healthy, for longevity. You don't start exercising to damage your health using supplements or drugs in any way. And you certainly don't start exercising to damage yourself in terms of injuries. And I don't know why, for some reason, it seems to be acceptable and it seems to be the norm. I think it's unacceptable. I think a healthier nation and good, healthy, strong people, mentally, psychologically strong as well, happy, balanced. You shouldn't need to use anything that enhances you at all. So all interesting topics, discussion coming up, which we'll discuss on the podcast. And we'll go through the research on it as well. And it's got to be entertaining as well because, like you said, we want to know the facts about the effects of these things. And the effects on our bodies. And you honestly can't beat training hard with good diet and good sleep, good rest, good recovery. Can't beat it. Almost ready for another set. Like the video, guys. Thumbs up. Show your support. Yes, come on. We're going to do another set coming up. Whew. 80 meters, 100 kilo. Feel those hamstrings working, I'll tell you that. Whew. Feel very strong. See if we can get another 80 meters. Now we've warmed up a little bit more, we'll sort of feel a little bit more supercharged. Woo. Goodness me. Ooh. So certainly, one key tip for doing yoke carry, especially after that just set that I've just done now, is the hardest part there is focusing on keeping your thoracic spine and abdomen nice and engaged, but also making sure your breathing technique is strategic and timed, because you need to be able to keep pressure in your chest and stomach, but you've got to be able to breathe and know when to relieve that pressure so you can take a breath, especially when you're under a heavy load. So I think that's one of the beauties of starting off a little bit lighter and building up slowly, is you're going to appreciate the weight and you're going to be able to time your breathing better and cope with the stress of the weight and cope with the stress of the metabolic demand of the exercise, the oxygen turnover, and appreciating when you're stepping how to breathe properly. That is an absolutely fantastic exercise. One more set. Oh. One more. Ooh. Healthy exercise promotion. Right then, one more set of this. This is hard now. That 100 kilos, that's what I mean. That's why you don't mess with the weight until you've achieved it all, because I could have, after that first set, I could have easily increased that weight and gone, oh yeah, we're going to do 120, we're going to do 130. But by the time you come to your third set now, you're just not going to be able to achieve it. You're just not going to get the benefit of the exercise. So I'm a big advocate of remaining submax, remaining on a weight until you can master all reps, all sets, all time under tension, all distances, and then you increase so you can really master what you're doing. Yes, like the video, guys. We are well into it now. This is week 4 already. Week 4, like unbelievable progress already. So you'll soon notice that even if it's your first time doing strength work. If it's your first time doing strength work, or even if you're returning for a second or third season, you will soon upregulate. You'll upregulate, and your muscles and nervous system will just be, certainly after 3 or 4 weeks, you'll be feeling super strong, super tight, and growing. Because at the end of the day, it's about getting the results, isn't it? It's about getting that physical result, visible result, numerical result when we increase the weight. When you start this, it will feel very uncomfortable because you may not have the thickness of the muscle in your shoulder to appreciate shrugging that weight up, and it will feel horrible, and it will feel quite like there's a lot of pressure on your bones and on your upper back. And it will be the same with the squat machine. It will be the same with the barbell squat. That bar may dig into the top of your shoulders for a while until your trapezius muscle develops, until the tops of your shoulder develops. We'll go through that, and over time it will get more comfortable. When you build more padding, essentially when you've got more muscle bulk, your padding will help to cushion those pressure points where the metal is pressing on the bones. So bear with it, don't let that put you off. Right, I think we're almost ready for another set. I think we are looking good for another set. Final round. We'll do some biceps. Okay. Come on. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, beautiful. Oh yeah. certainly on the second leg, at the top of the first interval there, on the way back and then that back again, you really feel your lower back muscles, transversus abdominis, quadratus lumborum, all those oblique muscles, pelvic stabilizers. Absolutely essential to control your midsection. One of the other tips as well, second tip for this, is keeping your pace obviously as quick as you can in competition, underweight, but go in at a speed that you can maintain, because if you start to slow down and then speed up and slow down and speed up, it will start to become a pendulum, and that's really hard to control. That takes extra energy. So if you stay with your technique nice and tight, nice and steady, nice and smooth, ideally you want to minimize the movement and the swing as much as possible. That's certainly what I've found. Woo. Good, right, let's do some biceps and we finish. Let's put this away. Take 20 kilo off at a time. Woo. Beautiful. Oh, that feels so good. 3 sets of that is absolutely fantastic. Especially after doing really heavy squats. If you saw the squats earlier. Woo. It will increase the weight on the bicep curl today as well. We did 30 kilos last time. We'll go for 32 kilos because we'll be doing some chin-ups on Tuesday. And essentially we're going to hit the biceps again. Do you want this? There we go. Help the guy out. Give him the 10s. Sound. Sorry, had your headphones in. It's easier than sizing them away. Give them to someone who's going to use them. Ooh, feel all my hamstrings really switched on. Well, that feels nice and light. All right, okay. Right then, let's do some bicep curls. Yes. Hit the biceps nice and heavy. Biceps here. Beautiful. Curls in the squat rack. Always curls in the squat rack. So as I mentioned, this is one of the only few exercises we do in isolation during strength work. So along with calves, abs, and I think what we'll do is we'll get some, we won't use the CrossFit type weights, we'll get some proper metal ones, be a bit better. That yoke carry really hits your glutes and your hamstring. So that pelvic control is needed. A little bit of chalk and then we'll... So do 2 or 3 sets of this and then we are done. And I think that was an amazingly successful session. A lot of volume done there, a lot of volume. And the thing is with this type of training as well, guys, is you're not just doing what I commonly hear guys in the gym say, and they're like, oh, I'm doing some strength today. Oh, and then I'm doing some, bit of bodybuilding and I'm doing some strength. I'm like, the hardest part, but the most beneficial part is actually consistently grinding through it. And the consistency of the volume is what's really going to push you on. Having that consistent volume every session, 3 times a week, is what will make the difference. Consistently grinding out the heavy stuff. That's why you'll have to probably drop the cardio and the HIIT training that you're doing, the high intensity interval training will have to be sacrificed. Sacrifices must be made. See, that was our warm-up today. That was our working set last time, and that felt a lot easier. And that was only a couple of weeks ago. So I think we'll throw on a couple of kilos. I don't think we need to go up by too much, because the bicep's very small, very delicate. And it will respond to these barbell curls. Don't think you have to load up the bicep really heavy and do loads of exercises for it. It will respond if you train it correctly. See these guys doing 5 or 6 different exercises for their bicep. It's like, come on. 1 efficient exercise is enough, maybe 2 if you're bodybuilding, but you're going to be using your biceps most of the time anyway. Let's jump up by 1.25. I think that's a fair shout. Sensible. So that brings us up to 32.5, which doesn't sound like much. But over the course of the strength season, before you know it, you'll be curling 40 kilos, you'll be curling 50 kilos. It'll soon build up. Get some rest here. Another fantastic live lifts. Yeah, it's pretty good. Live streaming your sessions to look back on the progress that you would have made in 5-6 months from now. Especially keeping this tendon in the bicep really nice and healthy. Keeping the top of the shoulder where the long head of biceps attaches and the short head of biceps, the superior glenoid, the coracoid process. Very important. Essential. When you saw the tire flip video, the dangers of placing your biceps tendons in an elongated mechanical disadvantage. So remember to watch those videos, guys. Lots of nice tips, nice training techniques. Legs are completely switched on. See what we can do. Reps, 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 sets, sets, sets. Nice. Beautiful, beautiful. What you appreciate there is the amount of control throughout that. And that's 10 reps, nice and steady, no swinging. That is an increase on the previous barbell curls we did. So already progress, and that's within 4 weeks, you know. The bicep feels nice and strong, and it'll be prepared and recovered to do some chin-ups in our next session. Hit the abs, hit the arms and the back again. Just consistent, relentless strength. All adds up. Get that true thickness. And then come the spring, come the summer, you've got lots of nice lean tissue, nice lean muscle to really hit the cardio, really get all those reps, all those cables, machines, cables, dumbbells. I honestly think, in my opinion, the view is my own, but I honestly think that if you're trying to build muscle, trying to get stronger, you're completely, and trying to get a really better physique and trying to build muscle mass that you can actually use, functional, I honestly think you're wasting your time with cables and machines. And for the most part, some of the dumbbell work as well. You just won't get that stress and that strain and that compound movement. Save all that for later. You're not going to lose or miss out on anything if you don't do that, because you'll be making up for pure strength, power and thickness and compound work, using the muscles to their full potential, doing the barbell and the strength work. And it's nice to step away from that as well, because then when you come to do the summertime, you know, your cardio and your bodybuilding, and you're doing the cables and you're getting 100 reps out, you're doing 50 sets, you know, it's also, it then behaves as a new stimulus for your body. It behaves as a new stimulation. So you don't get used to doing the same thing, and you can kind of step into that and have a new trigger for your body to grow again and respond to. So I certainly wouldn't be doing some of the same exercises, sometimes I won't be doing them for sometimes 6 months or even a year, to really step away and then come back with that new stimulation for the muscle. Getting that new input, new shock. Sometimes you can do too much of something. Too much of a good thing, hey? Before we know it, this will be increased. Get our forearm strength up as well. That'll help our deadlift. Okay, next set. One. Two. Control that negative as well. Ooh, control that negative as well. Beautiful. Ooh. And we'll hit the biceps again 48 hours from now when we do our chin-ups. Ooh, that'll be fantastic. So, replace these. Bit of sugar, bit of electrolytes going in after the session. It's important, bit of banana. So fantastic, guys. So we've got one more session on Tuesday, and that brings us to the end of the first month. That's 4 weeks now. And we've seen fantastic progress. We've increased the weight on all of our lifts. We feel much thicker and stronger already, much more powerful. Technique has been fantastic. It's exceptionally important at the very start that we go in at an achievable weight so our motor patterns can develop as well. Neural learning, plasticity, motor pattern, sensory motor cortex in our brain is learning those movements again, appreciating the pressures and strength and strain. Our joints, tendons and ligaments can be stimulated and grow, upregulate. New collagen laid down, strengthening fibers and connective tissue. This has been fantastic. I've really enjoyed it. And certainly more to come. We've got the podcast coming. Also research reviews. So I'm going to tidy up. I'll be back on Tuesday for another live lifts. Thanks for joining.